Hi, my name is David, and today we are going to be taking a look into my media exposure. This is a dark and windy path, and once you've headed down it, there is no turning back. Nah, I'm just kidding. But sit back, and I hope that you enjoy the presentation. First, let's take a look at the data. To track my media consumption, I use three different tools: Rescue Time, Screen Time, and Personal Tracking Graphs. Rescue Time tracked my MacBook Pro usage, and as you can see from the graphs, much of the media exposure was for productive purposes. There were definitely spikes in the graph when I needed to either complete an assignment for school or I had time off and had to complete emails or job applications. Screen Time tracked the media consumption of my iPhone. As you can see, many of the time was spent on social media and games. Additionally, there are spikes in the usage data on days that I was off of work. This makes sense as these days I would be at home relaxing and inevitably on my phone. Lastly, the next two graphs show my personal media consumption tracking. The TV bars for both weeks are significantly higher than the other three categories. This is because much of the TV watching that I do is in addition to working on my computer or messing around on my phone. I have recently begun to work more hours as well, so my console gaming and PC work has gone down since I have less energy to engage in these things when I get home. This process has definitely been an insightful look into my daily habits. I think that the most revealing thing about these charts is what kind of things I use each of my devices for more often. My phone is definitely used mostly for social media, whereas my laptop is more of a tool for productive work such as answering emails, doing research, or filling out job applications. As a well-rounded and avid consumer of media, I expose myself to different forms of media in my life. Most notably, I regularly spend time using social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I often use TV both as an active consumer as well as something that serves more purpose as background noise. Film holds a similar place in my consumption as TV does, although I do tend to pay more attention to a movie than I do something that I am casually watching on TV. I regularly expose myself to music throughout my day, and this ranges everything from my phone to teaching myself how to play guitar. Lastly, I like to think of myself as a semi-avid to casual gamer. I don't have any one series or console that I'm devoted to, but sometimes the best way to unwind is to sit back and take on the role of a video game character. I think that being able to see the sheer amount of time that I spend consuming media has been eye-opening. I think that it will help me going forward because I am now much more aware of the disparity between constructive media consumption and passive or mindless. That is not to discredit the benefits of unwinding after a stressful day and simply participating in mindless consumption. Additionally, from a more perspective point of view, every piece of media that I consume will ultimately shape me as I head into a career of digital media and communications. And the more variety that I include in my media consumption, the more well-rounded my experience will be. I think that at this phase of my life, I am more of a passive consumer. When I scroll through social media, it tends to be more out of boredom or because I'm interested in seeing the latest set of memes. There are many times I will be doing this while I watch a show on Hulu or Netflix that I have seen many times before. That being said, this has not always been the case, and I don't expect that it will be the case in the future. When I was younger, I created movies all the time, and the time that I spent on social media was more as a creator than a consumer. As I work toward a career in digital media and communication, I suspect that this will be the case again. Going forward, the main thing that I will begin to focus on is shifting my consumerism to a more constructive tone. This might mean creating or producing media, or simply actively watching and noting the nuances of a light setup or the composition of an ad. Additionally, the sheer amount of mindless scrolling through social media is only a distraction and will hinder me as I move forward with my media communications career. Ultimately, my goal will be to consume media with a purpose. I want to be able to take the knowledge of the people who created the content that I enjoy so much and be able to apply it in my own work one day. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you enjoyed this presentation.